And we're live. Welcome to another live stream. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're good. I have my herbal tea as usual. Yeah, welcome. And I have a new reverb pedal I'm just playing with at the moment. Hope you're good. If you don't know me, my name's Fabian. I'm a guitarist, singer, and songwriter. But I'm from the UK originally, but I'm based here in Berlin, in Germany. And today we're talking about how I write my songs. And if you don't know me or don't know any of my songs, then that's fine. That's totally cool. You know, it's just interesting for me to find out how other people write songs, and therefore, this might be interesting to other people how I write my songs. And we're kind of going to talk about it and get into it today in this live stream. And I'm going to be doing a few songs. I'll start us off with this one here. It's Like Father, Like Son. Hey Scott, how's it going? The music starts, had too much to drink. One Christmas evening and the family's all here. From my seat, stand up to my feet. Attempt to move my legs and hips to the beat. Oh, arm goes left and left arm goes right. Legs go front to back and then side to side. Head goes up and then it goes down. I'm biting my bottom lip, I'm making a frown. Oh, and I guess it's true with what they say, that we all turn into our parents one day. And to my shock, as cool as I am, and I'm dancing just like my old man. Oh, like father, like son, my chances are none. Like a father, like son, oh, my time has come. like father, like son. My chances are none. Like a father, like son. Oh, my time has come. Family, a wife makes one happy guy. So me whole man has more than what just meets the eye. And I'd be glad to have half what he has. And I'd be proud if I turn out just like my dad. Oh, like father, like son. Oh, my chances are none. Like a father, like son. Oh, my time has come. That was like father, like son. Hey, Scott, you made it. Welcome. Good to see you. First free Saturday. Gig free Saturday. Nice. Love it. Love it. I mean, it's always good to have a gig on Saturday, right? Though, but yeah, great that you can make the live stream. All right. Yeah, so today we're getting into how I write my songs. And, you know, I guess most people here, most people that know me, most people that listen to my, watch my YouTube videos are songwriters themselves, you know. So this is really just about, so you get an idea into, a peek into my sort of creative process. And it's interesting for me, you know, let me know how your creative process is, you know, if it differs at all, you know. So this is really interesting for me. But we can take a look at the first thing that comes when I'm writing a song is the big idea. So these are some of the things. I'll just go over some of the things that we're going to talk about. It's like the big idea is just the main kind of thing. For me, that's where it all kind of starts from. And then I look at the title and then the structure and then the lyrics. Not necessarily all in that order. And then at the same time, I do the music as well. And I look at the bass line and the melody. And I make sure I have space to improvise. And yeah, so this sort of thing. So we're going to kind of go into all this today, you know, and just let me know if how you write songs, if it changes to, does it change from song to song, you know, or is it the same kind of thing, same kind of way for every song? For me, I kind of have a process, and this is what I'm going to get into today. So it's relatively the same process for me. So it starts with the big idea, and this can be like a thought, it can be a phrase, it can be a melody, it can be anything. like for this song, like Father Like Son, I'll use this as an example as we're going through. It was the it was the fact that I felt like I was turning into my dad, and it was like, oh yeah, kind of like Father Like Son, huh? And it was that phrase that started it. It's like, okay, maybe I can. I'm sure there's a song in here somewhere. And from there, I went straight to the title, and I really try and do that as early as I can, because the title is kind of gets me set for the rest of the song. So I always try and relate back whatever I'm writing. Always try and relate back to the title. You know, it's kind of a way to keep grounded to the main subject of the song. You know, and I find this really helps. Is it? You know, I don't want to stray too far. I mean, with me personally, my lyrics don't really get too abstract. They're very story based. But still, you know, if you are doing very kind of abstract lyrics, you might not necessarily want to stray too far from the subject of the song, you know. So that's why, or maybe you do, but you know, for me, I don't. So that's why I like to have the title kind of early on in the writing process. Yeah. And then comes structure. So I'm kind of setting everything up, and this is something that I've just been doing in the past sort of couple of years. This is not something that I've been doing for too long. This is kind of recent stuff, you know. And I found setting up the structure, setting up the song early on, kind of encourages me to keep going, you know, because this has always been a problem in my past of that I never finish songs. I always start songs, and it's great having that first spark, you know, that first spark and that first energy that really kind of gets you excited about a song. But once that phase is over, then it's kind of just the not grueling, but you know what I mean. It's the process of writing all the lyrics and writing the chorus, the verse, whatever you've got in your song, and kind of putting it all together and just finishing it, you know. And that's what I've always struggled with in the past. But let me know in the comments what you have struggled with in the past, or what you're struggling with right now with songwriting, any part of the songwriting process. For me, yeah, it's always been finishing songs, just finishing songs. And that's mainly, I think, to do with the lyrics for me. I tend to have a lot of lyrics in my songs. I'm trying to have less lyrics at the moment. I'm trying to tell a story, because I really like storytelling in songs. And I'm trying to tell a story with less words, and it's really hard to tell a story, especially a very detailed story, with less words. So you really need to pick your words carefully. I'm trying to do more of this, you know. So this is kind of what I'm working on personally. Because if you listen to my first album, you know, like Father Like Son, it hasn't got too many lyrics, but some other songs in there, you know, they have loads of lyrics. And yeah, at the moment I'm trying to kind of have less lyrics. So I think it takes more skill to, you know, it's like notes, you know, if you can express what you're trying to express with fewer notes, I think that's kind of better. You know, might not agree with me, but if I can do the same thing with less notes, I'll do it. Absolutely. I don't need to always stick in a load of notes. Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent. But anyway, the title, the structure. And the structure is something that is really important, because it's kind of sets out the blueprint of the song, you know. and for me, it sets out how this is going to be built. You know, it's a bit like if you were building a house. You know, you want the blueprints first before you start building it, right? You know, you're not just gonna like, oh, we just, you know, put some bricks here and some stuff there, and you know, make it up as we're going along. You kind of want the blueprints and everything sorted out before you get going, and that's the way I kind of see songwriting a little bit. You know, it really helps me, and this is, you know, this is just a personal thing. You may not work with this at all. You may not like this process. It may not resonate with you at all, and that's totally fine. For me, because I have a problem finishing songs, if I have the blueprint, and the blueprint I mean like the intro, the verse, the chorus, what it's all gonna be, the kind of the structure of, you know, what I'm gonna have in the song. How many verses, how many choruses? Is there going to be a post-chorus, a pre-chorus, a bridge, whatever, you know. I don't have to have it all written. I just have a rough idea. And then with the lyrics, because that's where I have a problem, I write down in each verse kind of the story that I want, kind of like bullet points, you know. The rough idea about what I want to happen in the song. So that kind of sets me up to not run out of ideas, you know, because so many times I'm in the middle of a song and I'm just like, I can't think how to finish this, you know, this story. I'm just stuck, and I just leave it, and it takes me weeks, months, sometimes years to get back to it, you know. So I decided to change that. Yeah, so that's structure. We'll go to the chat. Scott says, yeah, the finishing is probably my biggest problem. Yeah. Although I also struggle regularly with getting started. Yeah, I have lots of ideas, but actually getting them into a song is a problem. Yeah. Me too. I'm trying to have like actual scheduled, and I've mentioned this in past videos or live streams. I'm trying to have like scheduled writing sessions, you know. Have you tried this at all, Scott? Do you have like, you know, because we're all very busy. We all have, you know, jobs, families, the whole lot, you know, school, whatever we do, we have busy lives. And we don't necessarily have all day, every day, just to write songs. That would be great. But I'm similar with you, Scott, that I have so many ideas, and I have so many different things that I want to do, whether that's like a YouTube video or writing a song or just something else, some other project, whatever I do, you know. I have so many different things that I'm trying to do at the same time, and yeah, it's kind of a time management issue for me, and I'm getting through it. You know, I'm trying different ways. One great thing is actually I've discovered recently is having an actual diary, a physical kind of calendar. You know, I haven't got it on me at the moment, but you can see it on the thumbnail of this live stream. And you know, I write everything down. So I write what I'm going to do. I have kind of a weekly goals, monthly goals, and kind of yearly goals as well. But with the weekly goals, you know, I put in scheduled time slots for when I can fit in the writing sessions, and it kind of doesn't matter whether I get anything done. You know, I just sit myself down and I turn my phone off, and I have these moments, you know, however long you can spare, of just like sitting yourself down, not being distracted, and just trying to write. And yeah, there's various sort of techniques and stuff that I try of trying to get the inspiration out, and it does come out. Sometimes it comes out really easy, and sometimes it never comes out, and I'm just sitting there for half an hour or an hour and feeling very frustrated. But at least I've sat myself down and I've got it done, even though there's still a blank page. I try not to be too hard on myself. It's like, at least, look, I sat myself down, I tried it, it didn't work this time. I'll do it next time. This is kind of what I'm trying to do at the moment. Yeah, Scott says, I haven't. I keep promising I will do, but things keep getting in the way. Yeah, I know. It's the same, man. The same. It's really hard, and I'm trying to do at least three writing sessions a week, and it, for me, that sounds like hardly anything, because I used to write all the time. I used to write every day, and I'm playing every day. I'm playing every day because I'm doing something, whether I'm recording or whether I'm teaching, because I do a lot of teaching at the moment, just in schools and stuff. But I'm playing every day, which is good. But playing is kind of not writing. But yeah, I'm trying to have these actual writing sessions, because I think we get in these habits of calling a writing session but it's actually something else. Whether it's like, just my guilty thing is just sitting down. So many guitarists do this, and just fiddle around and just mess around with your guitar, and you're just fiddling, and call that a practice session, or you call that a writing session. And I've done that so many times, and I continue to do that, and it's so much fun to do that, but that's not a writing session. That's a twiddling session. Sounds a bit strange. Yeah, so it's I think it's important to kind of know what your purpose is when you sit down. This is for me personally. My process, I'm sitting down to try and work on my song, or start a new song, or do something songwriting. Put distractions away, turn my phone off, and just kind of get in the moment. For me at the moment, that's mainly evenings. It tends to be the quiet point in the day, not in the day, but in the evening is the quiet moment when kids are asleep, and it's kind of, my brain is not going 100 miles an hour. And it's something about the evenings when we're kind of slowing down, getting ready to sleep, and I can kind of relax and enjoy, and trying to get the inspiration coming in. But yeah, definitely recommend having some kind of writing session, and have it small at first. Don't try and do something that is don't try and have like 3 hours a day writing session, when you don't have the time. It's like starting small, build up that kind of habit, and then try and get longer and longer with it. So anyway, so there's structure. So we're talking about the structure, the blueprints. So this is what I do. I kind of write out, and that's lyrically, and kind of the story on the lyrical side of things, and I write the music at the same time, because especially with something like Father Like Son, typically with my songs, I sing the melody whilst playing it at the same time, Yeah. So that I have to, uh, I have to write the music and the lyrics at the same time because I need to know how many syllables I need for the music starts, had too much to drink, you know. So that kind of usually works for me with that. So that's on the kind of the lyrical side of things. But I definitely want to go into the musical side of things, you know, because it's not something that I've talked about too much, but you know, because I'm playing fingerstyle, I think about things not so much in kind of chords and progressions, but more like bass lines and melody, you know. So when I was writing this, so I'm in Dadgad here, D-A-D-G-A-D, but it really doesn't matter what tuning you're in. I would do the same thing in any tuning, including standard tuning, you know. And so in my mind, I'm thinking I'm in G. I've got the capo on the 6th fret here, but you know, in my mind, I'm in the key of G. You know, so that's my G. That's my kind of root. So I start really basic, and I usually start with the bass line. You know, and I like this descending bass line. I do that a lot. You know, sometimes I go down another one. I really like that. And I'm just combining fretted notes here, the fretted bass note on the 6th string with these open strings, because in the key of G, you know, we're G and D loves the key of G. Yeah, the key of G loves the notes G and D. So these G and D strings, I just, you know, I can play and combine them with the bass notes. You know, so I do something like this, and then I'd mess around a little bit. Okay, I like that, but then I want to change. That's nice, you know, something like this. You know, so I start with something like that. And then I'd literally just add a melody on top, and this is the singing melody as well, you know. So it's really it's kind of basic, you know. If you cut out all the kind of the frills and stuff the added notes that I do, really it's just, and then. You know, stuff like this. So, and that's with most of my songs. Probably like 90% of my songs are like this, and I really enjoy kind of doing this style of writing, because in one sense it's really simple. You know, you can really simplify things if you do it this way. But then, of course, you know, I can add in filler notes, and I'll talk about these filler notes to kind of make it seem more complicated. You know, that's all I'm doing. I'm just adding these sort of hammer-ons and pull-offs and open strings combined with fretted notes, and you know, so that's on a sort of a basic level. How I get started with my songwriting on the the melody and the bass line and the melody. Yeah, Scott says, so do you tend to come up with the idea title and then go to the music and melody before going to the lyrics in any detail then? Yeah, I kind of do. I say that it kind of depends, because the big idea can be just a melody. You know, the idea can be just a musical idea as well. You know, and then I kind of do it the other way around. You know, so okay, what kind of lyrics can I put on this? What mood is this? You know, and then I'll kind of create a story out of that. But I definitely prefer to kind of have a lyrical idea first, because that's what I struggle with the most. You know, it's so easy for me. I have so many like melody ideas just in my phone everywhere. You know, I find it easier to come up with the bass line and melody than I do the lyrics. So I kind of tend to work on the lyrics first. Kind of, okay, I've got that. Let's put a musical kind of line to it. But it can happen at the same time as well. You know, I'm just kind of going through it this way. You know, just for simplicity's sake. You know what I mean. Does that make sense? You know, so it can be the other way around as well. It can be at the same time. And like I say, when I write the lyrics and actually get to the crunch of things, I do have a melody of such to work with. You know, because I have to kind of have something to work with at the same time. You know. So a lot of it is done at the same time, but I like to have the idea and the title and the rough structure kind of before I get into as early as possible, basically, you know, before I get into the crunch of things, if that makes sense. So it's, you know, and with the bass line and melody, you know, you can kind of turn these into chords, you know. What have I got here? It's like a, you know, G major. You know, I've got my G, and then it's like a seventh, a major seventh. And that's like a C chord. B, some kind of B. When I'm writing, I'm not kind of thinking about it's the theory. I'm not like, I'm not really thinking about the theory too much. I don't want to kind of the theory to kind of drive my songwriting, you know. I think it's important to know a little bit of theory. But it's not a driver, you know. I'm not thinking about that at all when I'm writing, you know. I want it to be to kind of, I want my gut to say, yeah, well, let's go with that. That sounds good, you know, rather than my brain to think like, oh yeah, no, that's a sixth, so let's just add that in there. Yeah, let's go to the minor, you know. Does that make sense? I don't want to write based on just theory alone. I want it to come from the heart, you know. So that's kind of the gist of that kind of thing. And then with the extra notes, and so I'm filling in. So I have the bass line. And the melody. You know. And then I'll have a chorus as well. Sometimes I like to start with the chorus just to kind of get the main part, the chorus, the main part of the song. It's not necessarily the chorus. You know, quite often I find the main part of the song is just the first melody, you know. For me, getting that melody in and those bass lines, you know, can be the main part of the song, or it can be something else. It can be, often it's a chorus though, you know, kind of get that, because that's, again, similar to the title. That's kind of, I want that to be at the, you know, in my mind when I'm writing as well, you know. I want every kind of lyric to be able to relate to that, you know, as I'm writing things. So it's good to have that first, yeah. For me, you know, everything that I'm saying here is just the way I like to do things, not necessarily the best way at all. Yeah, so that's kind of that point. So then from there, so I'd have the bass line, the melody, and the chorus at that point. From there, it's just then the process of writing the actual lyrics, you know, of the verses. And these are like just like the brick and mortar of when I'm building, you know. It's it can be a lot of work, and it can be like, because I tend to have a lot of lyrics in my songs, and it can take a while, but it's nice once it's done, you know. Absolutely nice. And as I say, at the moment I'm trying to kind of almost say more with using less words, you know, which is very hard to do. Yeah, but it's, you know, something that's really interesting to explore. Yeah, so from there, and then I would have spaces to improvise, and I love to improvise, if you don't know. And usually the improvisational point is like after the chorus for me. So after the chorus, I would go back to, you know, you can call it a post-chorus or whatever, or back to the intro. And it's usually, you know, a simplified version. On this one, on like Father Like Son, I'm just going that descending bass line, you know, from the root, 7th, you know, 6th and 5th. And I just improvise over the top. Yeah, I realize this isn't actually a 5th note. This is the 5th. This is still like a 6th, and then we've got like a minor 7, then a major 7, yeah, or whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah, so this is kind of like my process, you know, and it, once you've found something, maybe you don't have a process yet, maybe you're okay with not having a process, you know. I like having a process, and I like having a structure with things. I kind of need structure in my life, because I'm a kind of a mess without it. And you know, it's definitely something that we all struggle with, you know. And I think like not enough people kind of talk about the struggles. Not enough people are honest about the struggles, you know, especially, you know, musicians that that maybe you look up to and stuff, you know. And with social media and everything we have these days, it's very easy to see like, oh, I can never get to their level because they're so perfect and they never make mistakes. And, you know, it's just not true. They often make mistakes. They're just better at hiding it, you know. And I think it's important to kind of, yeah, say this, you know, that I struggle as well. I really, really struggle. I have moments where I'm just not feeling inspired and I'm not writing, you know. I've been through that. I've been through moments where I haven't picked up a guitar. Probably like my longest is like a couple of years. I didn't pick up a guitar, you know, because I was just feeling just frustrated and just not inspired at all. And it's normal, you know, to go through this. It's totally normal. It's definitely a love-hate kind of relationship, you know, that we have with our instruments and with our creative process and everything, you know. So yeah, Scott, you make that look so effortless. Thanks. Cheers. Yeah, you know, it's I've also been doing this a while, you know. I started playing guitar when I was 7. I'm now 37, you know. It's a long time. And I've been through so many different genres and different processes, you know, different ups and downs with everything. And yeah, you know, it's something that, you know, when you've been doing it for so long, it's definitely, yeah, it can look very effortless. But really, you know, it's you can do this in a very simple way. Yeah, I would try it, you know, even if you're in standard tuning or whatever. You can still do this in standard tuning. You know, G is actually a really nice one to do in standard tuning, because you still have these open strings, open D and G strings, you know. You know, and just give it a try and just try and come up with like a bass line, you know, and maybe even something simpler, you know. Four chords, you know. And then try and put a melody on the top. Or something like this, you know. It's you know, you start simple and then build up. Hey Christian, welcome to the live stream. How's it going? Christian says, what's up, man? I've been playing for 6 years now and spent that whole time through tough learning songs by guys like Tommy Emmanuel, nice, Mike Dawes, Andy McKee, and Callum Graham, yeah. But now I'm looking to write songs, yeah. Cool. Finding it difficult to come up with songs after having taken so much info and so many songs in. Any tips? Yeah, that's so you've learned so many different songs, huh? And then you're struggling to come up with your own stuff. Self-taught, you meant? Yeah. Okay. No, 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 no worries. Yeah, I mean, for a while as well, I was doing other people's stuff, you know. But I think I think just yeah. Trying to think of some tips now. So, um, yeah, I guess like you're finding it difficult to come up with songs after having taken so much info and many songs in. Um, I think naturally you're gonna come up with all the songs that you're gonna come up with are gonna sound like the stuff that you've been playing. It's just what happens. I find my songs change depending on what I'm listening to at the moment. But you know, try not to be put off by if they are sounding like other people's songs, or is it the fact that you just can't come up with ideas? Um, are you looking for like stuff for inspiration to come up with ideas? Is that it? Is it like solo guitar stuff, or are you singing as well, singer-songwriter stuff? That would be interesting. Yeah, I find I have no problem coming up with melodies and stuff like this. I think it's because I love improvising. And basically improvising is just composing, really quickly. So the musical sense I don't struggle with at all. It's the lyrical stuff. Yeah, fingerstyle, no singing. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's but I find it's quite hard. It's harder to come up with your own style with fingerstyle stuff if you're just doing solo guitar, rather than if you're singing, because at least if you're singing, no one really sings exactly like you. Everyone kind of has their own way of singing, because everyone has their own way of talking, and our mannerisms and everything that we do, comes out in our singing. And so, but I think that's harder with guitar. It might just be a process of that you just have to get stuff out, and there's probably gonna be like a lot of songs that you're not happy with, at first. Um, I think like I don't know how many songs I wrote before I actually started recording anything, especially before I recorded my first album. Yeah, it's hundreds of songs that I've just thrown away. Just because we need to get through that process, of writing rubbish songs. And I'm still writing rubbish songs. I'm still writing songs that I'm not happy with. But I really try and finish them, because I realize it's a process, and I realize I just need to get that out of my system, and then a nice song, a song that I'm happy with, will come along. So it could be that. So it's, but yeah, in terms of like coming up with ideas, do you play open tunings? Messing around with open tunings can be really inspiring. I try not to use too many open tunings because I don't want to be constantly tuning on stage, or for having a different tuning for every song. I don't want like 20 different guitars on stage and stuff. So also I like to kind of know my way around the fretboard a little bit. So I kind of tend to stay in dadgad a lot of the time, but I do like to venture out and open tunings. But it just, that could be a really interesting, it's a nice way of getting inspiration to trying just different alternate tunings. That's one way. Another way is trying different keys, trying playing in different keys, don't try and overcomplicate things. Keep it simple, like I was saying, it's I don't know your techniques and the stuff that you use, because guitarists have many different techniques. So you could play with a percussive style or whatever. I don't really do much strumming, and I do mainly kind of very simple finger picking, but I like to start with very simple, like I was saying before. Come up with a bass line at first, even something like that, which is like root, major sixth, major seventh, sorry, and then the sixth chord. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm just mixing in, open strings with fretted strings here. Yeah. Hope that helps or makes sense in any way. Give it a go, But that's what I like to do. I like to keep things simple. I know it may not seem simple, but in my head, I'm just thinking of like very simple bass notes, bass lines, one notes, bass line, and then a melody over the top. Or whatever. And just mess around and experiment, with different melodies on different bass notes, Here I'm just playing 2 notes, maximum 2 notes at any one time. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Hey, Leslie, so beautiful, says Leslie. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I kind of this live stream we were talking about how I write my songs, and I went through basically my whole process. If you just joined the live stream, I went through my whole process of the big idea, the title, the structure, the lyrics, bass line and melody, and then adding extra notes and spaces to improvise. Yeah, and that's basically kind of my process. there's not really much to it apart from that. Once I get to that point, it's just a matter of just writing the lyrics, and then I'm done, pretty much. But as always, a song, once a song is written, it's never, I feel it still takes a while for it to find its feet, and to mature. Songs are always maturing, and I definitely have my favorites. If you watch these live streams, I kind of play the same 10 songs over and over, if anyone's noticed. Because, I just have my favorites, and I go in and out of different favorites, depending on stuff. But I definitely have lots of songs that I've kind of abandoned, and I feel sad, but I should relearn them. And it's just because I don't like them as much as the other ones. It's funny, we have these different relationships with our songs, and but I'd like to, we can always change our songs, and sometimes I do that. I revisit a song, and I give it some life, and I give it some new kind of energy. I change it a little bit in some way, and then it becomes my new favorite song. This is nice. This is really fun. It's something that I guess you only experience when you've been writing songs for a while, I guess. So Christian says, appreciate the tips, man. You've been all over my recommended lately. Love your content. Thanks so much. Nice that YouTube is sending me out to people, even though I'm just a small one. Small channel. It's they definitely send me out to get recognized by new people. So that's nice. Thank you so much. Neil Wallbank. Evening, Neil. How's it going? Good to see you here. So I'm gonna do one more song, and then I'm gonna call it a night, probably, because it's not that late really. It's 10 o'clock here, but I need to can't go to bed too late, Oh dear. We'll see how it goes. At the moment, I'm experimenting with this new pedal. It's Acoustic, it's called, by Fishman. Fishman kindly sent me this pedal to try out. Let me solo the hold on. How do I do that? Oh, what am I doing? Let me solo the pickup, and then you can kind of hear how it sounds. One sec, I'll just play it for a bit. Kind of sounds nice. The thing I like about this, I have it up quite loud, by the way, because I have the microphone. The microphone's completely dry, and obviously the microphone you can hear. Just solo the microphone. That's most. There's none of the pickup now. There's none of the reverb. This is completely dry. Most of the guitar is coming through this, and the vocals. It's doing a really good job of picking up both, actually. But if I take that off now, it's... So that's why I was having the reverb really high, because it just adds a little bit. Anyway, these are really cool, these Fishman pedals, because they're designed specifically for acoustic instruments, you know. So that's interesting. It's definitely has some nice sounds. Yeah, so hey Daniele, ciao. How's it going? Good to have you here. Just adjust things slightly. So I'm gonna do one more song, and so I've been talking about, if you just joined us, well, I've been talking about how I write my songs, and I kind of been going into sort of the whole process. But you know, with all of these live streams, I leave them on my channel so you can look at the live streams, you know. And don't forget, I do these every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central European Time and 8 p.m. UK time, and I think that's 3 p.m. New York time, I think, and Eastern. But what's the other time? Pacific. It's like 12, I think. I could be completely wrong there, so don't do your own research on that. I don't don't trust me on that. I should know that. I should learn that off by heart, because I actually do have a lot of people from the US that watch my channel, so should learn that. Yeah, so I'm gonna do another one, and I'm gonna keep this capo here. Oh, Scott says clocks go back an hour in the UK tomorrow. I think, you know what? I think it's the same here in Germany as well. I think. Oh, that's good. We gain an hour, right? They go back, so we gain an hour, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Nice. Yeah, that's right. They go back, so we gain an hour. Yeah. I had to think about that one for a second. Yeah, nice. Okay. So, you know, really, it's kind of 9 o'clock. It's kind of early. Oh, dear. Hey, who's that? I hope we get your name right. Arild? Is that Arild? Arild says, watching from under the northern lights. Northern Norway. Lovely. Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to go up to Norway one day. All right, so I'll do this river, and then we'll see how it goes. You know, see how many people are around. Yeah. So this is called The River.
She's a drunk, middle-aged mum. She had children when she was too young. Now is something you might be surprised. 3 different kids from 3 different guys. She spends her time drinking away, drinking special brew every day. How did she end up this way? People walking past would say. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of He's a loner, he's an old man, an old boater that used to have plans. Now all he has is his very long beard, keeping him awake. Oh, these tears. He has one friend in all the world, his old dog with a long grey coat. He never sees the light of day, just waiting for time to pass away. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of river rats. He's a dad, he's a nice guy, a young father that doesn't know why. He can't see his poor little son, 'cause all these things this kid's mother has done. He has no money, no job, he'd do anything to earn a few bob. You look at him and you might judge that all he feels for his son is love. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of river rats.
That was The River. All right. Hope everyone's having a good evening. So, so today we talked about how I write my songs. And, you know, with all of these, you can always go back and have a listen to the live stream. And have a listen to how I write my songs, because, you know, I find it really interesting for other people. And please let me know in the comments below, or if you're watching this on the replay, how you write your songs. Do you come up with the lyrics first, or the melody first, or at the same time? That's always a big question, isn't it? Yeah, so I hope everyone's doing well. And I'll just quickly mention before I go about my, if you don't know already, about my community on my website. And, you know, if you look over to fabianholland.com, I got this little community where, you know, it's kind of linked to these live streams where you can, I have these different subjects that I look at. And this one was, what was it? It was songwriting. This one, you know. And I have these various different kind of videos, and the last one was just my music, and I have these little vlogs and updates, and, you know, and it's all completely for free. And it just gives you a bit of an insight, and you get them a week before these live streams, and just means you can keep in touch and stay up to date with kind of everything that I'm doing here, you know. And yeah. So anyway, hope everyone has a wonderful evening. We'll be back next Saturday, of course, for another live stream. So I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Actually, I think next week I might be away next Saturday, because now it's holiday here in Germany, and it's like autumn break, so we're going away for a little bit, just for a weekend. So I won't be able to do next week's live stream, but maybe I'll do it on a weekday or something. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But you know, I always like these live streams. Scott, thanks so much for the super chat, as always. Appreciate you, man. Every little helps. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, so with next week, I will let everyone know. So if you sign up to the mailing list, then I'll let you know about whether we're going to be doing it on a different day or whatever. You know, it could just keep you up to date on everything that I'm doing here. Yeah, I got some YouTube videos coming up. So stay in touch. Keep in touch with what's going on there on my YouTube channel. So hope everyone has a lovely, lovely evening, and I will see you again next time. Thanks so much. Bye.